Right, enough of me being artsy. Hello and welcome to today's review of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This game takes place during the Peloponnesian War in ancient Greece, a war fought between the Spartans and the Athenians. You play either Cassandra or Alexios. For this, I'll be playing Alexios. This gives you a chance to play a woman or a man, a lot like Syndicate, except instead you only get to play that one character, so in this case you'll only play Alexios or you'll only play Cassandra. So, let's begin taking a look at this game. Now, one of the first of many changes is the ability to choose between Explore or Guided mode. Explore is a new game mode where the objective markers aren't there and you have to find your own way around. But I went with Guided. It's basically the normal game mode where all the markers are provided and you can see where you're going to go. Because I'm cheap and I don't like risking things. Now, before you get to choose your character or your game mode or even your difficulty, you have to play through the first battle, which is the Battle of Thermopylae, or more famous in the film 300, the Battle of the Hot Gates or the Battle of 300. You play as Leonidas before his death, obviously wielding his spear, which is a piece of Eden, or an Isu artifact, or whatever the hell they're called nowadays. After which you'll pick your hero, and then once you're done you meet your character at the end of that clip at the beginning of this whole thing. Also in this game, like in Origins, you have an eagle instead of eagle vision, and this time it's called Icaros. It basically does the same thing as the first bird did. I can't remember what the first bird was called.
Hey, shitface! Get down here.
Now, the game really starts off when you play as Alexios or Cassandra. You'll start off in your house on I fucking can't remember how you pronounce it, and you'll come across these thugs. So let's just get into the combat straight off the bat, because we all know that that's one of the things that Assassin's Creed is famous for and is loved for. It is really loose. And a little unrefined. But as you proceed, you learn to live with it. It just seems to me like they didn't refine it as much as they have with Origins. There isn't a block, so you can't get away with blocking all of the time. You actually have to time your dodges and your parries to be able to actually beat your opponents, or just spam abilities like a cheap little bastard. Another new change is the ability to choose what to say to different people. You can romance, threaten, lie, or just attack them, but these are options that are only available if they appear on the screen. So, for example, okay, going back a bit before I get into the example, your choices can bounce back on you. So, in other words, they affect the world that you're in. So it's almost like they've taken a bit of Telltale's thing, or any point-and-click interactive story changes around you as you go, except these changes are quite minor, so they're not massive changes, so it doesn't change how the game ends, it just changes what goes on. So, for example, those thugs that I beat up at the beginning of the Alexios play, they give you a choice, really, so you can either kill them or you can spare them. If you kill them, that's the end of that, and that never happens, and you never see anything about that ever again. Or you can you can let them live, but eventually they'll ambush you down the road because they're still alive and they can do that. So yes, it's pretty immersive. That's the word. Now we're going to jump ahead a few levels. to get to the abilities. Now, these are amusing, especially when you have them at maximum level, so they do special stuff along top. So, for example, normally Bull Rush or Spartan Kick will basically, you'll do a kick which will send an opponent flying, or Bull Rush which will launch you towards an opponent and deal a massive amount of damage. There are abilities for your assassinating, so basically stabbing people with your Leonidas spear instead of an assassin's blade, which is quite a refreshing change, considering also the fact that the assassins do not exist yet. And on top of that, you have the Hunter, which is basically your bow and arrow stuff. So you can do something like Deadeye for McCree, where you lock onto loads of targets and shoot them all at once. You've got, for the assassin, you can throw your Leonidas spear at pretty much anyone you want to kill stealthily, and you'll kill them stealthily, and then you can chain attack if you've got it upgraded. But when you max out them, they do special stuff as well. So I'm not entirely sure what the special ability is for the throwing spear, but I do know, however, that the ability that Bull Rush does is basically you launch forward, and if you manage to push someone far enough, you'll stomp the ground and they'll fly off. The Spartan Kick allows you to kick basically if there's two people next to each other, or two people behind, one person behind another, you'll send them flying as well. Right.
Fair is fair. I'll fix your wood.
There are also two more new systems. First is the Mercenaries menu, and the second is the Cultists menu. Unfortunately, I haven't got any footage of the Cultist menu, but I'll do my best to describe it. Okay, but first we'll go through the Mercenaries. Basically, there are several ranks of Mercenaries, 9 to be exact, and what you'll do is you'll kill Mercenaries throughout the world and you'll gain rank. The problem is that these Mercenaries also hunt you too. Mainly when you have your bounty up. Instead of having a wanted or a wanted level, you'll have a bounty level, and these mercenaries will come and try to collect it, and you've got to kill them. This is easy as that explains. Okay, now the cult menu is a little harder to explain since I don't exactly have a video of it because I'm an idiot. Basically, when you discover the cult, which are basically the Templars of this game, because this game technically goes through the origins of them, but not really. Anyway, what you have to do is destroy the different branches of the cult, and there are 6 in all. No, not 6, 7. And you then have to destroy the cultists that work with them. Once you destroy those cultists, you then have to destroy a sage that is the head of this branch. These guys will then tell you who the leader of them is. I'm not going to go into any spoilers as to who they are, what they are, because guess what? That's for you to discover, because if you want to know who they are and what they do, take a look for yourself, or just go watch a walkthrough or a playthrough because you're a cheap bastard. Now, I'm sure loads of you are going, oh my god, he's only halfway through some of the features, this is going to take ages. So I've just decided, well not just decided, I've written it so that I cover the bits I haven't covered in the sum. Fun enough, let's do the summary. The gameplay. The controls for combat don't feel as refined as Assassin's Creed Origins. The lack of a block makes it more challenging, however, and eventually you do get a bit used to it. The ship-to-ship combat is fun and makes a triumphant return. It is refreshing look at it. Instead of cannonballs and stuff, you use arrows and javelins, and you have a lieutenant system. You have to find and recruit people in the world. The optional conversations can become funny and leave you leave you with great rewards. The conquests are a new feature, basically involving the two factions, the Athenians versus the Spartans. They go head to head and you have to choose a side, and at whatever side, if you win, you get great rewards, plus they get the territory. The cult menu is a refreshing look at the hunt down the baddies theme that the Assassin's Creed games go for. So it's a refreshing look at that. So it's an 8 out of 10 for the gameplay. The look of the game is gorgeous. The sea to the countryside, even the cities are beautiful. And me, I'm not much of a person on the cities in games. I don't really like them. I like big open, beautiful vistas. But in this, the cities are beautiful. The facial constructions are also beautiful and clever in the way, because I don't think they're motion capture. So it's done completely by computer, which again I have to say I like, because the simple fact is they just capture it somehow. I don't know how, they just seem human. but they are a bit spontaneous. Every now and again you get a Mass Effect Andromeda face spaz, basically. So all of a sudden they just go from being really grumpy to really happy all of a sudden for some strange reason. So, it's a 9 out of 10. Finally, we get to the story. Yes, I haven't covered much of it because I don't really want to spoil it, and I don't want to be one of those channels that does spoil it. Right. I do feel let down. It feels really unfocused because of the 3 objectives. Kill the cult, reunite the family, and another that I will not tell you because if I do, it will probably spoil most of the game. Even though it does involve mythical creatures. I will say that. Right, normally these 3 are interwoven, so basically in Assassin's Creed, we'll use 2 for an example. Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio wants revenge, but he's also got to kill the Templars, and he's got to defend various people he meets along the way. So it's normally... Oh, also, find a piece of Eden. Normally that is involved as well. Normally these are all interwoven into a storyline. So you have sequence 1, sequence 2, blah blah blah, all the way to sequence 12. And basically, in the end, all of it is worked in. All of it's developed. But, now, I don't know whether it's the open world or it's the quest system, the way they've done it, but it's all separated. So me personally, I've completed the Deimos storyline. Those of you who don't know what Deimos is, don't worry, play the game, have a look. The Kill the Cult storyline is also separate from the Deimos storyline, even though it's connected. And the final storyline has nothing to do with any of it. Like, nothing. It links in only like a teensy bit, but that's it. It is completely separate. And it's really annoying. So, although the characters are interesting and you feel for them and you feel happy or sad, depending on the situation they're in, but the problem is that I don't feel for the situation. I don't particularly see where the focus is. I don't know what to focus on. As I said, I've completed one of the storylines, so in other words, I feel like I've technically completed the game, so I'm getting... I personally have only had the game for a week, but I'm bored of it. I'm bored because I don't know... Because I have to grind at the moment to get my character level up so I can actually do the other quest lines, or I can't do them. I can't kill the cultists because I'm too low level. I can't do the other objective because I'm too low level. So I need to now grind, which is really annoying. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. So that is a 21 out of 30. All in all, it's a nice game. Great visuals, but a little focus would send this game skyward. And I'm talking like one objective line. I mean, even in Assassin's Creed Origins, there was one objective. Kill the cultists. End. So, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time.